Hello everybody, this is Gold Glee Gamer 1 and Dyne, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VI. And this video, we're going to go through Locke scenario.
Yep, this one's a little bit longer than the previous one, but this is as close as you're going to get to a stealth mission in this game, which is actually more fun than most stealth missions. Of course, Locke gets a little violent right there, threatening to rip the guy's lungs out for calling him a thief. But even though he just stole his clothes. I also love it how the name of the enemy changes to birthday suit.
I love how he says the price was right. It almost sounds like a pop culture reference to the game show The Price is Right.
Most likely. And in the case of this scenario, there are a couple things you have to do, but really this is the only time you're required to steal clothes. There is a shortcut on here, but it's a little hard to find. For the most part, this is pretty straightforward. It's one of the bigger puzzles in the game.
Yeah, I had to go through a few practice runs of this, and to actually get this right, so that way I won't spend a whole video just running around in circles trying to figure out where to go next.
Yeah, there's actually a shortcut on the canal just directly south of you, behind the house under there. There's a bridge hidden behind there, so that'll let you cut off a couple minutes of doing this, but again, if you don't know it's there, it's not unbeatable.
Okay.
There are a few Imperial soldiers who will not attack you. They'll just kind of chase you off, but these ones in green are a little more important. Because though you can attack, you can steal their clothes too!
Yeah.
So we got two naked people running around the streets of South Figaro.
Yep.
They probably stink too. Armor just never smells good.
Well, maybe they've been working all day and didn't have time for a shower.
They usually don't. The main puzzle on this is getting to the rich man's house on the northwest corner of town. And talk to this guy to relieve him of duty. Oh, not that guy.
He just said it. Kefka is a clown.
Well, I've been called at my fans for years. He only started the trend. He never really got any credit. Not that I care. I blow him up anyway. Now, there's a soldier you have to talk to while in the officer's uniform. It's probably one right here. Yep. Relieve him of duty to open the path. If you take that shortcut, you don't have to talk to him at all. It's another officer, if you need another uniform later on. Not so much. Now, the key to getting to the rich man's house is you have to take cider to the guy back on the east side of town whose grandson you spoke to and let you pass when you're dressed as a merchant. In this case, you have to talk to this one as well. And this is a case where you want to steal his clothes too. Otherwise, you wouldn't get back to the old guy with the after So we're up to 3 naked people running around town.
Yep. Yeah. So you point out, yes, when after you steal their clothes, they change their names to B-Day suit.
Well, they're wearing boxers at least.
Well, yeah, true.
It's the old man's cider. That's a key item that'll remain in your inventory for the rest of the game, if I remember correctly. The soldiers in the pub won't attack you. You just retrace your steps and get back to the other side of town now that the path is open. You actually have to enter in the rear of the house right there. Nice little indication. And give the old man his cider, which is of course not cider in the original.
Yeah, but of course it wasn't really his cider to begin with.
So I'll go down and give my grandson the password, which is, I forgot. No hints or anything. Of course, it's obviously courage.
Yeah. I mean, apparently that old guy makes you guess what the password is.
Yep, and there's actually a double joke on here because Rosebud is, of course, a reference to Citizen Kane. In the original Japanese, the option is Wild Rose, which is the password for the Rebel Army in Final Fantasy II.
Japan or NES?
Japan.
Yes, okay. Because I was... Because 2 in the USA was 4 in Japan. So. Now, yes.
Now you can't take the secret path in South Figaro before this part.
Oh.
And you can also sneak into where you need to go in here as well. And I'll point that out.
It actually took me a while to figure out where to go here.
Yeah, because if you listen closely, there's no sound in this house except for in this room. And talk to some of the servants; they'll drop hints on the location as well. Talking about a nasty draft in this room. And that one soldier's been relegated to Imperial babysitter. Let's see. I don't recall any jump rope rhymes that begin with wind the clock.
Well, someone could make one up.
Easily done.
Because there are lots of words that rhyme with clock.
I think that gal there is the one who tells you about the draft in the master bedroom. Yeah, I'm a soldier. No, she didn't. Yeah, I'm a soldier in our temporary headquarters in this town. I'm just going to divulge information to this random merchant walking around, who we've never seen before. We don't know how you got in here. Of course, if you were dressed as a commander when coming in here, it might make a little more sense. That guy never gets any kind of comeuppance.
Yeah. Wow, that staircase was very well hidden.
Yeah, just have to listen for the sound of the draft. Now, no matter what choice you make here, it doesn't matter. Now, if you keep going down from the hallway against the wall and keep walking right, you'll find a hidden room. One of the Empire's generals. And indeed, we saw her in the prologue. The poor gal is getting beaten mercilessly. They actually removed this portion in the Game Boy Advance version.
Oh, okay. But does the character still appear?
Oh yeah, product of a genetic engineering battle-hardened Magitech Knight, with spirit as pure as snow. Because unfortunately, there were some real-world events going on at the time, very reminiscent of this scene, and it just kind of made people uncomfortable. So they just take out the part where she's getting beaten. So the mighty kitty has fallen! Say that out loud, huh?
Yeah, that's right. I renamed Celis Kitty.
Yes, I'm going to poison the people of Doma. I call it foreshadowing. Oh, I can't wait to get to that scene. That's one of my favorites. Now it is Now, of course, that's actually part of Saber's scenario, and you can do that before this one. So you'll see the aftermath before the hint. See, if you're dressed as in Locke's regular outfit or as a merchant, he'll hide in the rafters up there. If you're still in the officer's outfit, he'll just salute as the other guy goes by. And, of course, the other guy has already fallen asleep.
Yeah.
It's one of the most powerful scenes in the game, by the way. Very, very, very nice summary of Locke's character. That one line right there.
I'll protect you.
Mm-hmm.
Ah. Well, it's just a way of showing that he cares.
There's part of his backstory is explained later on why he's so adamant about protecting both Terra and now Celeste. She drops the hint that the guard has something important on him. There's a save point in this room, thankfully. Yeah, the guard sleeps it all off. But this is the way out. Just have to walk behind the table here. A couple chests in here. There's an elixir in one of those clocks. And it's nice enough to give you some money as well.
Yes, some much needed money. For items later on in the game.
Mm-hmm. Another one right there, but did not get overlooked in the end. But the little girl was talking about winding the clock. There's the room where it needs to be done. You try to leave, won't let you.
Yeah, it's just like in Mario RPG, where if you in Nimbus Castle, if you try to go out the other way, Mallow will stop you.
Mm-hmm. Yep, if you head right from there, you'll find found the hidden room.
The basement 2.
Yep, and you can come in here the first time you enter South Figaro. There's another chest hidden behind in the bars on this right side. Little tricky to see.
You mean the South Figaro Castle basement and this basement are the same place?
They're part of the same building. This one's just basement 2. But you can come here when you first get to South Figaro. But you can't take the secret passage that leads all the way out. You can just come into this room.
Okay.
I show that off in my LP. If you go back to where the guard is. Now, how many times have I told you this passage leads out? It took you all of 5 minutes to realize that? Now, actually did not showcase the portion of getting the clock key off the sleeping guard. So, that's one thing to remember. Now, this room has some weapons and armor for Celeste and treasure chests. Just have to explore a little bit.
Yeah. Now, if you're wondering what was going on in those 5 minutes, I keep circling around thinking I was lost.
And no one's equipped with anything.
Yeah. Until I finally figured, oh, okay, this is what I gotta do.
I guess Locke removed all of his equipment before he left earlier.
I guess so. But we don't have to worry yet because it's still rather early in the game.
Yeah, the fights in here aren't that bad. The problem is you're just outnumbered at times. But Celeste can use magic. She has healing abilities. And you have to double check your equipment. And you don't really need sprint shoes in here. It's a short dungeon.
I guess not.
Oh, right in front of the chest. Yeah, Celeste's runic ability can only be used when she's equipped with a sword. Now, what you were talking about in the previous video, the only thing that matters in the order you do scenarios is when you're in a town and in a store, the people who have not joined your party yet will not show up in the store until they actually join. So,
okay.
So with Saban's scenario, when you look at it, Celeste will be shown in the party.
Okay.
And so it's actually a good idea to do Saban's last, for that simple reason. If you don't know the order. And more healing's needed. A regal cutlass and a heavy shield for Celeste. There's also A pair of iron armor as well. Something she can equip.
Okay.
That's actually back closer to the beginning. Right down there.
Hold on a second.
Vector pups, the only other enemy you'll run into in this room.
Sorry about that. Just a brief interruption there. Well, let's keep going.
It happens. Yeah, these are one of the first enemies you'll run into that'll run away. Unfortunately, you get no experience for them.
Well, yeah, because you gotta at least defeat them to get experience.
Yep. Yeah, some games where even if they run away, if you do attack them a few times, you'll still get some experience.
Oh. Well, it's probably in an RPG that I have yet to play.
That starts as early as Final Fantasy VIII.
Oh.
And again, these are the only two enemies you'll run into. They'll sometimes appear together, oftentimes not. Standard fight, and goodbye, Locke.
Yeah, but we'll get him back up.
Critical hits, one hit kill. So let's get solo XP. See, unfortunately, Celeste got the rune edge, and as you were using it to fight, it used up all her MP.
I was wondering what was up with that.
Yep.
Yeah, I was wondering why her MP was going down without me knowing.
That was just a consequence of using that weapon on someone who has MP.
Ooh, I better get a lot of tinctures then.
And more commanders, and there's only one place you can heal between here and the dungeon you need to go through to get back to Narsh before the end of the scenario as well.
Just out of curiosity, how much MP does it cost Celes to nurse every time she uses that sword?
I actually don't know. I don't know if it's a percentage base or is a fixed amount.
Yeah, well, she would probably be better off with a better weapon then.
Well, the one she has now is the most powerful weapon, but the one you picked up earlier is not quite as powerful, but still decent for her. And
but what happens if Celes has 0 MP? Could she not use that weapon?
She can use the weapon, it just won't be powered up. And the earrings that you picked up is a relic that's super useful because it increases magic power, and you can equip 2 of them. But it's also useful for Sabin because it increases the strength of his blitzes. So super handy to have for early in the game.
Okay.
Yeah, relics. The right combination of relics can easily make or break your whole party, especially at the end of the game. And plenty of money from these guys, at least. That's a little hint to Locke's past right there. And once you leave town, you cannot come back in. If you head north to the cabin, you can get free healing in there. But the way back is back through the cave of South Figaro. And as I mentioned earlier, the treasure chest contents have changed if you didn't get them the first time. The enemies are also different as well. These guys remain the same.
Yep. Yeah, we've seen these guys before. The Road Ox and the Grease Monk.
Grease Monkey, I'm sure, but they just didn't have enough room.
Oh. Well, they could have used a smaller font if they wanted to fit in Grease Monkey in one line.
No, they still had limited room.
Okay. Yeah, but still, they could have used a smaller font if they wanted to.
Probably not, since the game didn't really have a whole lot of room for different fonts. They pretty much used the same one everywhere. And in order to keep things consistent, they needed to keep it the same size. And actually, on the official translation of Secret of Mana, that game was pushed to the limit on the SNES cart, because the translator was talking about how he barely had room to input for a lot of text, simply because it takes longer to say some things in English and Japanese, and he basically had to condense a whole lot of text just to make room for it.
Poor Locke. He can't use magic yet.
Not for a while. Oh, that was the end of the video.
Oh, man.